All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Shema Shabbat, Shema Kakodash, Damonis Apostle as a great millstone. Shalom to all that come out there pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, I just want to do a lesson in regards to this imagery you see right here. It says in summer 1817, hundreds of people, including sailors, clergymen, and magistrates, all witnessed the same thing. A giant 60-foot sea serpent swimming in the harbor of Gloucester, Massachusetts. The mass sighting became one of the most credible and famous monster accounts in American history. And this is something that's not taught amongst a lot of things. This is I just say you could say somewhat alleged, but through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shah, we know these things are written of sea creatures in Job. All right, which I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Leviathan. All right, Leviathan is known as a piercing serpent, and it's a lot of animals, marine animals that's in the water that Esau has no idea where they at. There's all kind of sightings. There has been sightings throughout history, and he doesn't want you to really know these things. All right, that's why they'll try to make this whole fabrication about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is 50 to 100 million, million years ago. You had these, and then after that, you had these beasts that walked the earth. Then after that, you had a meteor that struck the planet Earth and wiped them all out. That's a cunningly devised fable. All right. When you read the scriptures, Leviathan would be likened unto a dinosaur. I think the terminology of dinosaur, which I got my other phone in my hand. I'm about to look at it right now. Dinosaur, the etymology. Because here at Great Millstone, we look at words. Let's see. Yeah, they want to say it was the Mesozoic era from 252 to 66 million years ago. This guy's a liar, man. When the scriptures speak about these things, and the time of Adam is recorded around, if I'm not mistaken, 4000 BC, around there. But this is the word dinosaur. The word dinosaur comes from two ancient Greek words, dionos, meaning terrible or fearfully great, and meaning lizard, a reptile. Leviathan would be likened unto a dinosaur. He's a fearsome reptile. Terrible lizard. You see? Then you had an inventor that actually came out, with that concept. This guy, Sir Richard Owen, in the year 1841, he was the one that pushed, that term, and he made it be likened unto prehistoric animals and things of that nature. You can look at the imagery, but Leviathan is known as what? A sea serpent. So it says, can thou put a hook into his nose or bore his jaws through with the thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Will thou take him for a servant forever? And this is known as speaking, I guess, facetiously, because Job knows the power of Leviathan, and he's speaking like, is you going to make him as a pet? Is you going to be able to, So, will thou play with him as with the bird, or will thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Yeah, so you had fishermen, in the ancient world, they would throw the spears, kill them. But they could do these things to certain animals. But see, Leviathan is a super apex. That's why in the book of Sirach, Leviathan is known to own the waters. All right. The Lord gave a portion to Enoch, and he gave the other portion to Leviathan. And Leviathan is going to come out and play, you know. The Lord is saving, you know, and that's a mystery. You know, the Lord is saving the best for last. And I'm going to do it. Lord willing, I could probably do a lesson for that. Just like when you eat, you know, if you're in the sweets, the dainties, that's really the best part of the meal, you know, and you know, today's culture, so to speak. You know, you say the best for last, but the best one go first or it's going to spoil your appetite. So the Lord is savoring the flavor for judgment. He's swelling these things up, you know, and getting ready for it to hatch, which is at its point. This is 2 Ezra 6:49. Then didst thou ordain two living creatures or creations, the one thou callest Enoch and the other Leviathan, and did separate the one from the other, for the seventh part, namely, where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. Yeah. So, like I said, Esau, he likes to push a narrative, but his narrative is being broken with the so-called UFOs and chariots. That's been found out. You know, the truth of those JOOs and all the deception, the mass deception that he has pushed out from top to bottom, high to low, dates, history, you know, poisoning everything. You know, he did a great job being the devil. But this is the time where truth is coming out and is purging out. It's literally burning through the floods of lies, you know. And that's one amongst many, you know. Like I said, the chariots. But this, you know, the beasts of the Lord, they're gonna show themselves. You know, even in these past months, has been new recordings. There's always new recordings of animals. So Esau, he only makes it seem like he has control, but he doesn't have control. The scripture says, "I will show thee that thou is a man and not the Most High," and the Lord is showing that now. You know, so all we got to do is just continue to push and let the Lord work His wonderful work. You know. So with that, I'm gonna end by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah by Shema Dash. Double honor to the apostle of the great millstone. Shalom Akim.